Hi guys, welcome back to Rock and G Farm. It's been about a week now since I tried to finish this video, and we ended up with ants in my cactus and succulent dirt. So I put them in a Ziploc baggie. Put this inside my Ziploc baggie, zipped it up, and kept it in my freezer for about a week. So far I haven't seen any live ants, so I guess when I go out to my greenhouse I'm going to have to put my soil in some airtight plastic tubs so that ants won't get in there. So what I'm going to do today, we're going to finish up propagating succulents that have been knocked off of the large succulents outside in my porch area by my dogs. So this is going to help me not to be able to have to spend so much money on buying new succulents. And then I have one daughter who loves succulents, so this will help her, and then I'll probably get some to her. One thing that has happened over the week, we have got a larger root that is actually starting to grow another plant. So hallelujah, there we go, we're already started. So this shows you that it doesn't have to, you don't have to be in a hurry to plant them when they get off. They have been in my windowsill for a good month and a half. And then after the video last week, I just threw them in here without any soil and set them up until I got back to this video. So what we're gonna do, we're going to put these 3 leaves, get this down here so you can see. We're going to get these 3 leaves in one little terracotta pot container, and like on the earlier in the video, I got these at Hobby Lobby. Since these are really small and they are going to grow slowly, 3 in this little terracotta pot in your windowsill is going to be okay as far as size wise. And these are the one, this is what we're propagating today. I got these at a local store here in town this summer, and there's some information on the back if you can see it. So this is what we're going to propagate today. So what we're going to do, I've got one that you can see here, it started making roots just by sitting, this was just sitting in my windowsill and it started making roots. And then of course I didn't have it where it needed to get sun, so it started stretching, and that's why it's all stretching. I like them compact like they're supposed to be, so that just means that it wasn't getting enough sun. So I'm going to take all these other leaves off the bottom here, and we're going to cut the top off of the plant and plant that as one plant, and use the remaining of these leaves to propagate more. So here we go. I'm going to start with the 3 leaves that I had already started with last week. So I've got my cactus and succulent soil. I got that at Lowe's, the local Lowe's in town. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of soil in the bottom here. And not too much, because I've still got 3 little leaves to go in here, and I don't want it to be crowded or to spill over when I do have to water it. So I'm just going to pop them down and let the leaf kind of be underneath the soil. And this one's already got a leaf growing, or another plant growing, so we're just going to do the same thing with it. Just kind of pop that over, push the dirt back over onto it. And then I'm going to put the 3rd one, and it already has just a little bit of a root on it too. I don't know if you could see that. It's a little bitty root. And I'm going to put that right here on this other side. And since its root's already going down, I'm going to turn it the other way and just lay it down there, and that one's kind of gone under that big piece. I'm going to get that big piece of bark out of there, because that's going to kind of hurt it. So just a little bit of soil over them. That's all you need, and then they'll start growing. I will give it a little spritz of water, at the end of all of this, but that's all I need. And I'm going to put it in a window that is going to get more sunlight than my window by my kitchen sink, so they don't end up doing this. So what we're going to do, you want to make sure that you get all of the leaf off. You don't want to get bits and pieces, and you don't want to use the old ones that are ratty. So what you're going to throw the old ones that are ratty off, get kind of close to the base, and just kind of start twisting a little bit, because we want them all to come off really nice and clean. Okay, so there's one. And so let's say if it's about $4 a plant, and we've already got 3 in here and 2 in here, we're gonna save ourselves some money by propagating our own succulents. So we'll just continue this. And I did put, at one time, put these on a plate with a little dirt in my window sill, and that worked also. So I'm just gonna try it since these are just little. That's why I'm trying the terracotta pots today. Let's see how they work. So we're getting quite a few leaves off of this one plant that is gonna help us build our succulent stash. Just keep going here, all the way up. Okay, and so now got all those, and it just leaves me with the little tip of the plant. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna take my pruners, and I'm just gonna go kind of close to the top of the plant, give it just a little bit of a stem, and I'm gonna just cut it off. And then we're gonna plant this in one of the terracotta pots all by itself. And if you have big pieces of bark in there, you might want to reach in there with your fingers and take the big pieces of bark out, just to give it a little bit more space to get some soil in there. Okay, so there we go, little bitty terracotta pot. I'm gonna just kind of make a little hole in the center, and then I'm gonna get our little top of the plant, and we're going to just stick it right inside that and kind of give it a little toot down, kind of push the soil up close to it. Now we're not going to water that for probably 4 days, just to make sure that that stem can heal, because we don't want it to end up getting soggy, because then it will die. So we're going to leave that one alone. But since this one already had roots on it, and it had these leaves had been sitting out in my windowsill for several weeks, we're gonna water this one. But since this one we just cut off, we're not gonna water it today, probably 4 days. And then since this had little roots on it already, I'm just gonna this is an experiment, so we'll just experiment together. I'm just gonna cut that edge off that had the roots on it, and we're going to see if that'll propagate by itself. And I'm sure it'll take probably a couple of months, maybe probably till Christmas. This is September. So I'm just gonna make a little hole to get that roots area. There's a big piece of bark. I'm gonna move that out of my way. That's just too big. And I'm just gonna get this, and I'm going to push that down in the soil, and I'm going to push it up. And since I do have that open area where I just cut off, I'm not gonna water that today. I'm gonna wait a little bit till that spot heals, and we're gonna see what that does. Actually, I'm gonna put just a fraction more soil in there, just to kind of give it a little more oomph. Just want to make sure I'm still seeing it. So we do know that we have roots in the bottom. We have this open at the top. We're gonna let that area where we cut heal for a couple days, then we'll water it. And since I have gotten so many of these leaves, I wasn't planning on getting this many. I am going to get a little plate and put dirt on it. So we're just going to put a little soil on this plate. And since I know that these propagate fine and get their roots fine in my windowsill in my kitchen, I'm just gonna leave them in my windowsill in the kitchen. But the ones that I am ready for to start growing, like this one that already had the roots, and this one that is already growing as a plant, I'm gonna put these somewhere that's a little more, has more sunlight than the leaves that I'm gonna be propagating. This is something fun that would be good for all of you moms and dads that are doing some homeschooling. It's a great science project to teach about plants and science and life, the need for water, the need for sun in order to grow. So this will be a great project for you to do with your children at home for homeschooling, or just since you might be doing some virtual schooling. So I've got my new leaves here that we've popped off. They all have good edges. I didn't tear them and they weren't torn. The leaves are nice and firm. And so we're just gonna lay them down on our soil. And then that way it's gonna kind of help them to, when they do start getting roots, it's gonna help them to root into that. And then we'll take them and put them into smaller pots. But this will take a couple of weeks to do this, and so we'll have to make another video and put an update on this. And so far, ladies and gentlemen, I do not see any ants, so I am ecstatic about that. So always watch your potting soil. When you even do have it in greenhouses, I wouldn't even have thought that I would have had ants in my soil, but that just lets me know that I need to watch my soil better and to make sure I get buckets that are airtight, and I'm going to do that with all of my soil. So here we are. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 leaves that we just propagated, not counting the 3 here. And then we've got our plants here. And then our one that already had roots on this one. So we're going to watch these for a couple weeks, and we'll do an update and let you see how they're doing. And like I said, again, this would be a great project for anyone at home with their children doing homeschooling or virtual schooling. Good project for them to watch, to see the cycle of life, how things grow, and just be able to do something hands-on. So this will be a good project for them to keep them occupied for a very long time, because it takes succulents a while to grow. So take what you have, make it beautiful. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.